The planet is part of a continuity older than civilization, older than humanity, and older than the planet itself. Stars formed and collapsed long before the first oceans cooled on Earth. Matter organized itself through forces that required no witness. Gravity gathered dust into worlds. Elements forged inside dying stars became rock, water, atmosphere, and eventually life. Continuity did not begin with humanity. Humanity emerged inside it. Life inherited this continuity through adaptation. Forests adapt to drought. Coral reefs adapt to current temperature within limits. Birds migrate across continents. Bears hibernate through winter. Even trees prepare for seasonal change through cycles of dormancy and renewal. Adaptation is not uniquely human. It is one of the deepest characteristics of life itself. Human beings, however, developed something unusual. Not merely the ability to adapt, but the ability to resist adaptation artificially. A species without claws, wings, armor, or exceptional speed learned to survive through abstraction, through memory, through imagination. Human intelligence became an extension of nature, capable of projecting itself beyond immediate biological limitation. The first cave drawings were not decoration, they were rehearsals against vulnerability. Human beings imagined futures before they arrived. They coordinated against larger predators. They stored food against scarcity. They built shelters against weather. But somewhere along the long expansion of civilization, a subtle line blurred. The line between adaptation and defiance. Most living systems survive by remaining within the conditions that sustain them. Human systems increasingly survived by overriding those conditions instead. When heat became unbearable, humans did not merely seek shade. They built cooling systems powered by extracted energy. When landscapes became infertile, they intensified chemical inputs. When water became scarce, they depleted deeper reserves. When ecosystems weakened, industrial systems compensated through greater extraction elsewhere. Locally adaptive, globally destabilizing. Civilization became increasingly capable of creating continuity for itself by exporting discontinuity into the future. This is the hidden paradox of modernity. Humanity did not simply build machines, it built artificial timelines. Markets began operating quarterly while forests regenerated over decades. Infrastructure expanded rapidly while soil required centuries to stabilize. Water systems separated themselves from agriculture. Energy separated itself from ecology. Waste disappeared from sight and therefore from memory. The planet, meanwhile, continued keeping time. Heat accumulated quietly inside oceans, cities, and industrial systems. Rivers altered course. Soil lost complexity. Species vanished. Aquifers declined. The atmosphere thickened gradually enough for quarterly systems to ignore it, while geological systems recorded every imbalance patiently. The environment remained what it had always been, not scenery, but the operating condition beneath civilization itself. This is why continuity matters, not merely as an environmental concern, but as a civilizational one. Modern civilization often behaves as though consequence can be postponed indefinitely. Yet thermodynamics does not negotiate. Maintenance does not disappear because budgets ignore it. Ecological systems do not suspend physical limits because economic systems demand perpetual growth. The deeper crisis is not technological, it is temporal. Human systems became extraordinarily sophisticated at short-term coordination while becoming increasingly disconnected from larger continuity scales, ecological, geological, planetary, and perhaps even civilizational. Many systems that appear adaptive are in reality forms of delayed instability. Over-extraction masquerades as productivity. Thermal compensation masquerades as resilience. Debt-driven expansion masquerades as growth. Resource depletion masquerades as efficiency. Human intelligence became powerful enough to temporarily override feedback loops that constrain most living systems. That power transformed civilization. It also made self-deception scalable. And yet the same intelligence that fragmented systems may still be capable of reconnecting them, because energy, water, food, waste, heat, infrastructure, and economics were never truly separate systems. They only became administratively fragmented. Physically, they remained connected the entire time. Water shapes politics more than ideology does. Soil remembers what markets forget. Heat alters civilizations more reliably than rhetoric does. Infrastructure ages, whether institutions acknowledge it or not. The planet remembers everything eventually. Perhaps maturity for a technological civilization begins when it stops mistaking defiance for adaptation. Not through abandoning technology, not through romanticizing nature, and not through fantasies of returning to a simpler past, but through learning how to build systems that behave more like long-lived ecosystems. Systems capable of buffering stress, repairing damage, remaining stable under interruption, and surviving without requiring permanent acceleration. Forests do not maximize quarterly output. Coral reefs do not survive through infinite expansion. Long-lived systems persist through balance, redundancy, dormancy, adaptation, and continuity. Human civilization may eventually need to learn the same lesson consciously. The future may belong less to the systems capable of growing the fastest and more to the systems capable of remaining coherent across time. Not perfectly, not permanently, but long enough to avoid collapsing under the weight of their own fragmentation. Perhaps this is what intelligence ultimately becomes. Not the ability to overpower nature, but the ability to understand that continuity was always larger than ourselves.